Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by PrizePicks. Sign up for PrizePicks today and use that promo code Leading Off when you do. It's me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia. That, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts, and the Cracker Jacks. And we're all here talking baseball. And Welsh, another place, I guess, to talk baseball apparently is something called Threads, which I really didn't know about until the last couple days. Maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know. Well, but I went ahead and I joined the Threads, and I saw you were already on there. So I guess you are still the youthful movement of this program.
Well, first off, I am just a blind sheep. I sheeply just was like, okay, I got to do the thing because everyone's doing the thing.
Threads.
That's what you do.
Sounds good. I like Threads.
But I will tell you, Threads just started today. So you're not like old duddy, whatever. There was a early access. All it is, this is for the crew of people that are daily waiting for Twitter to implode because of new rules, and people get all like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. This, I don't care. It's not going anywhere, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. There is a new platform. All it is Facebook's Twitter killer, if it is. But the most important thing is to follow us both on Threads.
Yeah, I'm at Fantasy Black Book. That's my handle because it just pulled my Instagram.
It's via Instagram. So. Yeah, mine is at the Welsh. I have to own that everywhere.
It's
so
like
go and follow us.
It's like I call it fitter. It's like Facebook and Twitter had a baby. It's fitter. That's all.
Yeah, because it's Facebook. Well, and Instagram, it's their new platform.
Fitstagram. It's kind of like all those things combined. That's kind of what it feels like a little bit. Instabook. You know what it is? It's whatever your parents tell you that they signed up for, whatever that fake Welshism name or social media. I'm on the Instabook. You gotta find me on the Instaface. The face.
I don't know if I don't know if we'll ever be on it, but you should just all go follow us because that's the cool new thing. Don't ask questions. Just give up all your personal information to whatever company and just.
Well, they have it anyway. So what's the difference? I feel like, but I kind of feel like with all of these things, there's little. For every 10 of them that are like there and gone, there's one that becomes a big deal.
Well,
so it's funny I want to have more followers than everybody else on their first. Like I want to be first to market on something for a change.
We're both first to market on this one, I'll tell you, but it's just so crazy. Like anything happens on Twitter and everyone like rallies up. They're like, okay, guys, this is the new platforms that we're on. We're on this one. We're on this political one.
Thing that only the people who had iPhones could do, and I was like, this is dumb. Like
I don't know.
Remember that it was like an interactive platform. You can get on there and talk and all that stuff. I remember that thing.
I don't know what people
remember.
Like, this is my blue
sky. 2 years ago, and I was like, you had to be invitation. You'd be super cool to do. I was like, I'm not doing this. This is dumb. I have Android anyway. You can go screw. And you know what? It's gone now. I can't remember what it was. I don't even know. Well, somebody in the chat probably remembers what it is. But you know what?
We're there.
Threads, the only problem is it sounds like one of these clothing companies where it's like, do you like custom men's shirts? Then you're going to love Threads. Where
it actually sounds like it would be a sponsor.
Right?
So it'd be pretty good. I mean, I know. That's what you should do. They really still. But the most important thing is go follow me so I have more followers than Joe. Joe has actively been getting all the followers. I've done nothing. I just woke up to a bunch. Go follow me so I have more. If Joe has more than me.
I'm sure you do already, but
no, you have more than me. It's very.
Let's get to the questions of the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. It's baseball. That's why we're really here. And here's part of a thread from Center for Access to Information and Justice, which all sounds great. I love information. I love justice. I love being the center of things. It's all great. So points league. These are the keeper options. Somebody's out. Somebody's out. Toronto, Vladimir Guerrero. Phillies, Trey Turner. Elly, Jordan Walker, Volpe, and Yuri Perez. Now, I look at this grouping in a points league. I think I drop Volpe back into the pile because the strikeout total is high. He's having a weird season. I think he's easier to redraft. Maybe you go right after him early in a keeper. I want a pitcher, and you've already got Vlad, Turner, Elly. Those are premium guys. Jordan Walker looks a little bit more solid right now. To me, it's between Walker and Volpe. That's the odd man out. Who's the odd man out for you?
Yeah, did he say this is points?
Yes. Yeah, there was several other messages here because obviously the Center for Information is going to give you as much information as possible. So 100%. I just pulled out the players.
Well, we want to make sure to give him justice in this entire move here, and it's Volpe. Walker's hitting for such a high average, those hard hit numbers. It's not quite equating to like the video game stuff that Elly's doing, but it's going to get there into the future. So I want Walker. Elly's a no-brainer. You're not messing with Vlad and Trey and Yuri Perez, like you said, in points leagues. I feel like it's so popular to not appreciate and value pitchers in points leagues anymore, which is crazy because that's what it's all about. So Yuri's a no-brainer. So Volpe, got to kick rocks.
There you go. Sabo's goggles, by the way, being funny. Haha. Joe joining Threads is like when your mom joined Facebook. Why don't you go poke your grandma, Sabo? Huh? Your grandma wants to be friends. She poked you. You go poke her back, which sounds gross. Remember
please don't poke your grandma.
See, I fought Facebook forever. Like not as physical, but I mean, I was like, I don't want to do this. And it's stupid, whatever. And then eventually, like 9 years later, I finally did it. So I want to be first for a change. So this is
the only one I don't do is TikTok. I just don't.
I got a TikTok and I made a really funny TikTok last year about the coach. I don't know if you saw this. It's actually very funny.
Oh yeah, were you dressed up? I saw it.
No, I did the coach. It was the coach press conference in training camp from the NFL.
Yeah,
and it's really funny. But I haven't done one since, so maybe I'll just do one a year.
It's not good for the algorithm, I'm told.
TikTok, so. I just don't get. I don't get it. I can't. Who knows? Maybe this will be MySpace. Maybe this will be a big thing.
Go poke your grandma.
Go poke your grandma, Stan. All right. Do I have to tell my relationship status on Threads? I don't think so. Hopefully not. None of those things. I'm in a relationship with the Welsh.
I haven't dug that deep. I have one post on there, and if you've been hearing me lately on other things, I am obsessed with Tim Robinson. It's the only thing I care about in my life. So I did the 55 burgers, 55 shakes, 55 fries, 100 taters. That was my first post on Threads. So go like that.
I will like it whenever I see it on there. By the way, the only person worse than me is cousin Donnie. Cousin Donnie just joined social media last year. Any of it. He had none. It was hard. You had to actually call or text cousin Donnie. Not now. So, he was.
I like when people just join social media and stuff because you can tell they have, because they like everything and they comment everything. They're like, I'm trying to be engaged. It's like, you don't.
No, you don't. It doesn't matter. Let's get to what does matter. Pablo Lopez. Great performance for him. Striking out 12 guys, 9 innings. There you go. That's what you want. The complete game stuff. Pablo Lopez was brilliant. The splits for him have been very stark this year, so there was reason to stay away. But you know what? Whenever you see the Royals, you just go troll the Royals. Sometimes there's things in the fantasy world, the betting world, they're just too good to be true. And one of them is facing the Royals right now. Welsh, they are a hot mess. I think the rest of the season, too, this is something like you see them on the slate, you just attack, whether it be strikeout props.
That's what I've been doing.
Whatever, you just continue to go straight for those Kansas City Royals. And I'm not trying to take away anything from Pablo Lopez. Has had a great season. Strikeout totals are way up from his career totals. But really, the Royals are the gift that keeps on. They are the giving tree. Right.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely attack them. But on Pablo Lopez, real quick, I haven't looked this up because I don't know if it exists on any other guys. So first off, 30% plus whiff rate on both of his top used pitches, fastball and sweeper. 35% whiff rate. This is on the season in game last night when he was dominant and awesome. 32% whiff rate on the fastball. He had nothing on the sweeper. So then he had a 45% whiff rate on the changeup and a 57% on the curveball. 17 total swing and misses. 3 of his 4 pitches had a 40% CSW percentage, so called strikes and whiffs. Awesome. But the thing I was saying is, I don't know if anyone else has this. He does 4 pitches, double-digit percentage usage. His curveball has a 40% whiff rate. So I don't know. Is there another pitcher that has 3 pitches of double-digit percent usage with a 30% whiff rate or higher? That's crazy. That seems crazy. I just don't know if anybody else has that. You see big whiff rates on 1 pitch, maybe 2, but 3 pitches?
Garrett Cole would be the only guy. I wonder if you looked up that number, would it be Garrett Cole?
I don't know.
It's not Strider. It's not some of these other Christian Javier with a 2-pitch guy.
Ironically, it wouldn't be a guy like a Darvish who has 12 different pitches.
Spread out because he's got too many pitches. That's why I went with Garrett Cole. That would be my one guess. Cody, our friend Cody in the chat too, talking about MySpace. I never had a MySpace account.
Oh, I did.
I imagine you did because you were just a little younger than me. And that was a very big thing for people who were just a little younger than me.
I had the background.
You had
to
rank
music.
your friends.
You had to rank your friends.
I think that's healthy. People think that's an unhealthy thing. I actually think that's healthy. I think a rank. Yeah, I do. And here's why. Because you know what? It's honest, and you start ranking your friends, right? And if you piss me off today, maybe I knock you down from 5 to 6 or 5 to 7. I think that means you better step up your friend game. That's what I say.
Who do you think would have you in their top 8 of our industry friends, of all those
industry friends?
Yeah, who do you think would have it? And you could also we could go all Fantasy Pros people, but I was also thinking like outside of Fantasy.
No,
Pros.
just of the fantasy industry, who would be in who I would make their top
would
8.
be in their top.
I'd like to think you. I would like to think Bogman.
Yep, I agree.
Derek Brown for sure. Erickson, yes. I think that Mayer would have me nowhere near his MySpace page, and then I think Sealy would put me in, but it would be real close. I'd be like 7 or 8 because he'd want people that look better, even though technically I'm a better friend. He'd want higher profile people.
Higher profile. You know, I was thinking,
which is why he wouldn't make my 8 at all.
Besides you and Bogman, I don't know if I would be in anybody's top 8 on you and Bogman. I don't know if I have that type of like love from prospect people, maybe. But I don't know if anybody else would have me.
I think there's a handful of other people that might have me in that, like, right around there. But that's a good question. I think that's a good question for threads. I'm going to put that out there on a thread and see if people thread it. There you go. Kodai Senga, he was pretty good too. Another 12 strikeouts over 8 innings for him. Dramatic win against the Diamondbacks. My dude, Francisco Alvarez, my pick yesterday for value DFS, came through with a big home run, a big moment. Let's go.
Also, by the way, before you moved on, the Diamondbacks are striking out more than any team currently. So you want to talk about like attacking teams. Kodai Senga, if you remember, I had a really good betting day last year. I don't know if any of you guys were following me, but Kodai Senga was plus money. 5.5 strikeouts yesterday because the Diamondbacks were striking out, and he struck out 12. Not that you would attack them all season long, but watching those trends of who's striking out at pretty insane degrees is where you can take advantage. And Kodai Senga was freaking awesome last night and kind of getting some stuff together. 30% K percentage. The walk rate is way, way too high still, but he's not inducing as many barrels. And just Kodai Senga's moving in the right direction, and that was a good
very much so
bet to attack if you could have.
I am Kodai Senga was a guy that we were very much on this year. I'm fascinated to see if he's one of these dudes that takes a big step forward next year. If there's a keeper league out there and you're out of it this year, he would be a really fascinating buy because he probably came relatively cheap this year in draft capital or in price if it was a salary cap draft. That would be a guy that would be very intriguing to me in 2024 if the Mets rebound, the kids take a step forward, and they become a better team because Senga's not going anywhere. I mean, we could talk about Scherzer, Verlander, and all that stuff. They're 100 years old. They definitely had, they don't have any social media, those guys. But seriously, they would definitely, Senga to me is that one guy that I think could really be a fascinating step forward. I don't want to say fantasy ace, but maybe in that clarity. Chris Meany would keep me in his 8, by the way.
Oh, Meany would 100%.
Meany would 100%. I would definitely be in Meany's 8 for sure.
By the way,
but there's some fun ones on here. Yeah.
59.6% whiff rate on his forkball. Uses it 22% of the time.
Baby.
There's another stat I want. Does anybody have a higher whiff rate on a pitch used 20% or more in baseball? Because I don't think so. 22% he uses that forkball. It's an almost 60% whiff rate. That has to be the most whiffed at pitch in baseball this year. I can't believe any other pitch is.
David says Frank Stampfl will put you in the top 8. I agree.
Frankie might have. Yeah, okay, that's a good call. Frank might have. Also, our shared love of Tim Robinson could get Towers to maybe even consider because all we do now is tweet at each other with Tim Robinson gifts. So there's possible. I think Eric Cross, who writes over here, Eric could maybe. Chris Clegg. Those might be people that put me in. But you employ Cross, so like I think you would have standard over me.
Oh, that's the thing. Like if I employ you and you don't keep me in your top 8, then maybe next year we have to have a sit down with HR. Yeah, maybe
Neither one of us would get on Spore, by the way.
No, Spore wouldn't even. All of his 8 would be dogs.
They would all be
dogs or members of the Detroit Tigers. Yeah. Like
just be like OOTP, MLB The Show,
right.
6 dogs,
6 dogs, and then Spencer Torkelson. Lugo 2 runs, 1 earned, 6 Ks for him. Nice outing. So especially good because the Padres need a little help there with Walker going on the IL. Brian Bello, another guy that we were on yesterday. 7 strong innings as the Red Sox get a W against the Rangers.
Dude, that good one I want to point out
with Eovaldi. Yep.
I thought that was impressive. I was not on him yesterday. Someone asked me like, "Hey, are you starting Bello?" And I'm like, "I'm not starting him." Well, the Rangers offense. The Rangers offense is the reason why I wasn't.
Yes. But look at what he's done in the last 4 starts. I told you he's been very solid in these last 4 starts. I think something is clicked here. The confidence is there. Bello's very intriguing for me rest of season.
40% whiff rate on the changeup. He had 8 whiffs on that thing yesterday. Pretty impressive swing through pitch. Threw it 30% of the time. Bello definitely moving into a new territory.
Now here's an interesting one just from Billy. No last name, just Billy. I don't know how, this is the one person that got just Billy on you. Oh, Billy. Is this the last chance to sell Mike Trout in a keeper league? I kind of wonder. Keeper dynasty, like I would have already lost patience with Trout after the last few years of injuries, because there's been a ton of injuries with Mike Trout in the last couple of years. Like, not insignificant injuries. We're talking like giant chunks of the season injuries with Mike Trout, that I think the frustration level and looking at that he doesn't steal bases anymore. He got to that point in his career where he's getting older and all those things when you on that, once you cross over that dividing line of 30, do you think that there is enough value to sell at this point? Even like, what's the return for Mike Trout? I know you could go on the trade analyzer and go look at it, but in keeper, like in redraft leagues, but in dynasty keeper formats, that's a big question. Is this the last chance? And is there a chance you can?
It's not. I'm almost 100%. It's not the last chance. Also, it's not the time right now. Do not.
When is the
sell
time?
Mike Trout
is it
right
the
now.
off season? You wait for the off season.
When will then be now? Soon.
Yeah.
First off, do it when he's on the field. You do not trade Mike Trout right now when he's hurt, because people are like, well, they're going to sell you on all the reasons why. Absolutely not. Second off, he's 31 years old. Yes, some of the stats are diminishing as far as what we knew of Mike Trout, but you see plenty of Paul Goldschmidt, Freddie Freeman. These guys absolutely can get it done at 34, 35 years old. So I firmly believe that it is not the last opportunity. Now, if you want to sell him at the high, I still think you have a couple years to do it. So selling him when he's back and healthy now versus 2 years from now, it's kind of whatever, you feel and whatever the return looks like. But if you want to talk about like who he is, second most hard hit percentage of his career this year. He's had an XBA that was better than last year going on. I mean, Baseball Savant, what I'm trying to get it to you, it's across the board, top 10% in almost every
great
category.
Player.
He's just not
as healthy. And I know he's only 31, Welsh. Like, I get that. I get that he's still only 31, but he's also had a lot of miles on that 31. He's a very physical player. He's a guy that runs into walls. He's a guy that stole a lot of bases. He's a guy that has, put a lot into the game of baseball in his career in these last 10 years. I don't know. I don't know what 31 to 38 looks like for Mike Trout, having all these injuries he's already had.
Might have to DH a little bit more at some point. But listen, maybe. I firmly believe if the Mike Trout in your mind is the one from 4 years ago, then yeah, you should get out if you can't come to terms with that. He doesn't steal bases. He's going to miss a little bit, but he's still a monster hitter. Here's the problem. All that stuff we talked about yesterday, what if they did trade Ohtani and they trade all this and Mike Trout is playing with a bunch of 24-year-old AAA players again? That does stink. So these are all things to consider when talking about it. But if your argument is, hey, Mike Trout is diminishing in his talent and is not going to be as good, and this is the only time you can get something, firm disagree. I think you got a couple years on that. I'm not saying to not do it, but this is not the last chance.
I think it might be the high point. I think this offseason, going into next year's draft season, next March, that's the time when you start kicking the tires and say, oh, how much can I get for Trout now? Because if you can really cash in that asset, I'd be curious to see. Because what if he has another season where he is missing 30, 40 games? By the way, while we were talking, Frank Stamfel literally just followed me on Threads. Look at that. Stamfel, there it is. Frank Stamfel following you on the Threads. Let's
see if
I've
got it. If I've got it too. So, by the way, Threads is it's kind of odd to me. Let's see. I don't know if Frank followed me. This is going to determine if we're going to be friends. You know what? I don't think me and Frank are going to be great friends because guess what? I'm not. But you know who I did get followed by better than Frank? Wonky.
Ooh, I can't even see. Oh, yeah, the Wonky doesn't follow me.
Yeah, right there. There you go. Wonky,
that hasn't happened. Mayor follows me, which is great. All right, let's get to some more baseball stuff here. Elly De La Cruz got his bat checked. And then he said to the Washington Nationals manager, Dave Martinez, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Right here, buddy. I got you right here. And he went yard on the, was it the next pitch or two pitches? I can't remember.
It was like the next at bat because he had one of those.
Oh, right. It was the next at bat. Sorry.
Yeah. He had one of those bat trackers that was like on the end of the bat where they can, they can check your swing and they can do that type, which I think the whole point was everyone was like, we haven't seen that in a game before. I don't think I've recalled seeing any of those things on there, but yeah, he still had it on. He smacked that homer, and then bam, and then he said, "How about that? How about them?" And then Dave Martinez got all pissy, being like,
"He did.
I don't
think you should do that. Shut up, Dave. Shut up, Dave. By the way, Wonky says she already follows me, so okay, Wonky, I believe you. I don't want to upset the
I cannot
family,
believe this is the Threads episode. I didn't know this was going to
be. Well, we got to do something. All right, this is important. Framber Valdez was supposed to start today. Now he is not. That line got pulled earlier today. I was doing stuff on Sports Grid TV talking about some big Major League Baseball betting stuff, and Framber, that ankle now apparently is going to start Saturday, but I would not be holding your breath for Saturday, folks. If I'm the Astros right now, I'm creeping back into that West race. Alvarez is going to be back soon. I tell Framber, why don't you just chill, bro, through the All-Star break and come back 100%? I'm telling you, bro. In fact, I use the word bro when I talk to him. I
hope you do it like that. Like, hey, bro, check it. Check yourself, bro.
Framber Valdez.
Framber. Get the... I thought you were going to say, by the way, I thought you were leading into the twice a week Astros need to trade for Eduardo Rodriguez. I thought that's where that was.
Oh, no, that's coming. We'll talk about him. Let's do the rookie first. Bobby Miller, 4 runs, but 7 strikeouts. Got the W over the Pirates. That's good. Francisco Alvarez, 2 for 4, game-tying dinger. Let's go. And by the way, Grayson Rodriguez might have been dropped in your league. I got to look at the roster percentage again. I want to say it's somewhere around like 50-ish%, depending on where you're playing. Grayson Rodriguez struck out 12 guys yesterday. Everyone struck out 12 guys yesterday. I don't know what was in the water, right? Pablo, Senga, Grayson Rodriguez. So at AAA, he had 12 Ks yesterday. He's gone 4-0 with a 1.83 ERA, 51 strikeouts, 12 walks in his last 34 innings. So it's Grayson Rodriguez time. And I love this Orioles team. The Orioles and the Reds feel like they are going to be the team to watch in the next 2 to 3 years. And I don't think I'd ever say those words, but it really feels like that, Welsh.
This is what development is all about. You know, you get your picks right, get them into the right position to succeed. This is what you want. This is what every team, especially smaller-ish market teams that aren't going to compete for, $700 million Shohei Ohtanis, you have to build within, and you have to make the right choices. Diamondbacks had done that with some of their guys. The Reds are in that spot. The Orioles, Colton Cowser, we didn't even talk about, by the way, got a hit, and I think an RBI in his very first game. So there you go. Looked very Brandon Nimmo-ish too, by the way, on that hit.
That's an interesting comp there.
Yeah, that was what I was kind of talking about with him. Yeah. So, Orioles, I completely agree, and they still got a couple guys. There's Jackson Holliday might be the superstar of all of them. Connor Norby is an infielder that still hasn't come up. Pitching is getting a little bit less, but I completely agree. Grayson was a guy that I was trying to hold if possible. Mm-hmm. They wanted his secondary stuff. They wanted him to be able to command that secondary stuff, so that's what he was down there working on. It's still a big power fastball, a guy that you bet on for show.
Rest of season, Grayson Rodriguez or Tyler Glasnow? Who would you rather have?
Glasnow.
That's what I figured. What about next year? Who would you rather have? Tyler Glasnow and Grayson Rodriguez in a keeper league?
Glasnow. Because Glasnow, we're going to get a healthy season in front of him. Like, I think Grayson's going to be great, but he's... there's still some inconsistencies and stuff like that. Like he's got to. I
was trying to think of a guy who's a little volatile, who's had some injury. Like, do you want the guy on the way up or the guy that you're just never sure what he's going to be?
I understand. Which you maybe could have been like, no, it would be a bad one. I'd say Pablo. Like Pablo's had a lot of inconsistencies, but then he was just amazing.
You can't do that.
Lodolo,
no.
Maybe Nick Lodolo or Grayson Rodriguez. Lodolo is suffering from injuries and was a big pop-up guy.
I like Lodolo, but Grayson Rodriguez,
I would go Grayson there too.
By the way, Tim made me laugh in the chat. Tim said, Joe's going to lose his mind if Ohtani starts following the Mets on Threads. Yes, I will. I will. Somewhere around November 1st, that's going to happen.
Wait a minute.
Yes,
Wait a minute. This is the thing. We've got to figure out who's the first athlete, like baseball player, I guess athlete in general, that does he unfollowed everybody on Threads. That when Threads really made it, once an athlete gets some news about
there you go. Once you unfollow somebody on Threads, that's what happens. So let's get to the injuries. A lot to get through here. Dansby Swanson was removed yesterday. He's not in the lineup today. He's dealing with that heel contusion. Sturi Ruiz is going to undergo x-rays on that shoulder. From Wednesday's game. Ketel Marte was out yesterday, but it seems like just a day of rest for that back
soreness. They said he's playing second base today.
Yeah, so he's back in the lineup today. Also for the Astros, Jose Altuve, GM says that they're basically going to shut him down through the All-Star break, which makes a lot of sense. Let's be very careful. I told you, I'm really worried about Altuve physically going forward. That's another guy. If he comes back this year and looks good, cash in at the height and look for some of these younger players. Rowdy Tellez, 10-day IL with the right forearm inflammation. That's going to open up at-bats for some more guys in the Brewers lineup. The Brewers are such an enigma offensively. I just can't figure them out well. She can't at all. Zach Greinke on the 15-day IL. He came out the other day with a shoulder issue. Well, shoulder tendonitis. And Adam Wainwright to the 15-day IL with a right shoulder strain. I think the Wainwright train is about to set sail. Fun fact here, Welsh. Sean Murphy from the Atlanta Braves, he becomes the 6th Brave this year to have 15 or more homers. I thought that was an amazing stat.
Yeah, I mean, their offense has been insanely bonkers.
6 guys. And we're at the halfway point.
You get like a mediocre pitcher, and you're going to find me looking to bet on that, whatever it's going to be, 4 or 5.5 team total runs. I want to play that all day, every day. It's not going to cash every day, but it is going to cash more often than not because that offense is insane.
Who was my favorite Brave in fantasy draft season? Do you remember?
Ozzy Albies.
Who I talk about all the time. Yep. Want to talk about Ozzy Albies' season so far? Because I'd like to. I
think projected 40+ homers right now at second base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when second base was a wasteland and Ozzy Albies was a value, and all I did was write about Ozzy Albies and talk about him all the time.
He was a value. Mm-hmm.
He's good. That boy good. I just don't understand. It was like 2 years removed from this phenomenal fantasy season, and he was injured, and everybody soured. I don't get it. I don't understand. It wasn't like he was 38 years old or something. Like you just go, wow, I'm giving up all hope. Makes no sense to me, Welsh. None. I don't understand. But yeah, that's a lot of guys on a team with 15 homers at the All-Star break, for frick's sake. All right, let's get through 3 up and 3 down, for frick's sake. Finally, I think Frick is one of the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks in our chat. Alex Cobb, 6 scoreless innings, 7 Ks, got a W over the Mariners, another team that you control for strikeouts. Manny Machado, signs of life, 2 for 3 with a homer. This is like the second time I feel like he's been in the 3 up column in the last week or so. Dean Kramer, who, by the way, completely sounds like the bad guy in any late 80s, early 90s college comedy.
Maybe even could be like, you're right about that. Yeah, right? He's got the Dean in it, 100%.
Dean Kramer.
He'd be played by Jeremy Piven in like 88 or something. God.
Yeah, PCU is such a good movie. Underrated college movie. PCU so good. By the way, it's amazing how much more hair Jeremy Piven has. And now it's great to see him actually doing the Hair Club for Men commercials. Because everybody knew.
Is he really?
Oh, no, he is the spokesman now. Good for him. If you're going to do it and you're going to say, hey, I did it, embrace it, that's fine. Like, he's out of the club. He's not allowed at meetings anymore. Like, not that club, like this club. Like, he can't hang out with us bald guys anymore. But good for you at least owning up to it. Because when he was 25, like he had no hair.
Like Urlacher doing that.
Urlacher is even more disturbing.
Urlacher and Cena were probably the most jolting people I've ever seen when they went from bald to hair. It's really, really, really worrisome.
Lee knows. We're not going to protest. PCU, underrated college coming-of-age movie. Downs yesterday, Bobby Witt 0 for 4 3Ks. Ryan McMahon 0 for 4 3Ks. And as Welsh pointed out yesterday, don't throw Eduardo Rodriguez off injury back into the fire. He did have 7 strikeouts, but he gave up 5 earned in 4 innings. Welsh, it's that time again. It's time to pick some prizes. So let's do that for the people. Make sure you sign up for PrizePicks. Download the app or go to prizepicks.com. Use that promo code Leading Off. That's very important. Sign up with Leading Off. 100% deposit match up to $100. Welsh, what do you have for the people today?
Yes. Let's prize pick them. Let's go with fantasy score 8.5. Diamondbacks kind of getting just beat up. I can't imagine it keeps going. Carrasco, ERA doesn't look so good. Corbin Carroll has been vibing, so we're going to vibe with him. 8.5 fantasy score. Also, Pete Alonso, pretty good. I was kind of tempted for him on the homer today. I'm going to go with total bases, 1.5. And then maybe an obscure one, no run first inning for Yuri and Jack Flaherty. I'm going with no run first inning. Total score in that game is 8. We're going to talk about them here in a little bit as well. So I'm going to go with the Nerfy, Yuri Flaherty with Alonso total base and Corbin Carroll score.
I want to let everybody know, too, right after this, Welsh and I are recording a home run derby special for Betting Pros. So if you haven't subscribed to Betting Pros YouTube, we're going to break down the brackets there and talk about our picks. So if you want our home run derby picks before you get to Monday, that's the show to watch. It'll probably be out tomorrow on Betting Pros, so subscribe wherever you get your pods, but just go to the YouTube channel and click subscribe over there and that will all be up probably,
Betting
I
Pros
guess,
on Threads
tomorrow.
Too, by the way.
Oh yeah, they follow me.
I'm trying to thread all of the needles here to get it back to the social media thing.
Threading the needles. For me, Tanner Bybee against the Royals, 6 Ks over. Let's go. Let's go, Royals. Don't let me down now. Nate Eovaldi, 5 strikeouts over. I'm also pairing Nate Eovaldi with the Rangers to win today. That's a nice little pairing, get you up to 2-1. Both of those things are lower in terms of the, or should I say, more juice. So you put them together, you get a positive 2-1. That's a good day at the office. Just go and bet that. Also, Corbin Carroll, 8.5 hitter fantasy score against Carlos Carrasco. Let's go. From the betting standpoint, as I mentioned before, Cubs even money. So let's go right to them on the money line, especially Milwaukee missing some guys. I mentioned Bybee. Again, that's the number. I'm going with the over on that one. And same thing with Nate Eovaldi. Put Nate Eovaldi with the Texas on the money line. You go put a couple units on that. I think that's a really good return. What do you have today on the betting line, Welsh?
Interesting. I swear to you, I don't even look at your bets or any of things. And we have things.
No, we never look at each other's stuff. We show up here and we just do the show. That's what we do.
100% right. Do want to point out 3-0 day on the bets yesterday. No big deal. Smashing Senga, smashing all of the Atlanta bets that I had on you. And I had that plus money one, which is the total runs 3.5 through the first 3. Braves did that alone. No big deal. So today, here's what we've got. Corbin Carroll, hit, run, RBI. It's 2.5, but it's plus 110. 1 homer gets me there. The reason it's 2.5 is because when Corbin Carroll gets on base, he scores runs. His run score is like minus 150 or 60 if you want to just bet him scoring a run. Crazy. So I'm going hit, run, RBI plus money on Corbin Carroll. The strikeout one was interesting because I like Eovaldi, and you mentioned the Cubs because I like Stroman. You can get Eovaldi's number lower. You found the plus money. But at 4.5, it's really juiced, like 150, I think. Marcus Stroman, 4.5 strikeouts, really juiced. So what do? Put them together. 181 is now the number. I bet it right before the show. Just pair them together, get plus money. And then I'm going with, I mentioned that St. Louis-Miami game. St. Louis-Miami, through the first 3 innings, 2.5 under total runs between the teams. So under 2.5 first 3, St. Louis and Miami. Them be the bets.
The skinny parlays. That's what I like. I like, if you think that a pitcher is going to go out there and dominate, then there's a good chance that pitcher is going to get a W for that team, or that team is going to get a win when that guy takes the mound. So invest in the pitcher, invest in the team, get yourself some better odds. Don't add 3 other things to it. Just keep it simple. Put a bigger number. See, that's the thing. Like, people will take $20 and they'll spread it over 5 different things instead of taking the $20 and putting it on one thing that they really like that day and doubling their money. That's a much better day of investment. And I know it's very tempting to put out there. You put out the dollar bet. Oh, look at I could win $1,000. But you know what? If you keep doing the $20 over and over again, and you're doing it right in the focus betting, eventually that 20 turns to 40 and the 40 turns to 80. And there's ways to do this.
And I agree. I don't do those. The best advice we can give is, like, don't ever do parlays, but I do like to play some parlays for plus money, and I like 2s. That's why you see me do 2s, rarely 3s, though I will say the hit parlay yesterday, Springer didn't play, so we looked like we were hitting. We hit all the hard parts, but that's the stuff. 2-piece parlays is kind of fun, but yes, focus on your bets instead of betting a million things.
Look at JP. JP watched my UFC show over on the Betting Pros side too, which is very good. Even if you're not like a huge fan, but you want to get involved in that, Mike Iorado is the best in terms of fantasy and any sort of gambling, DFS, anything when it comes to MMA stuff. He was fantastic as a guest. And in August, we're working on Daniel Cormier coming on the show along with him.
Awesome.
So that's going to be really cool.
Like Cormier.
So that's going to be a really fun show. I'm telling you, Betting Pros, a lot of fun stuff happening there. And I'm going to be doing the NFL like 5 days a week over there come football season. So we are going to be crushing that. So let's go for some more fun here with another one of our sponsors, because we love Sorare MLB. Go to fantasypros.com/collect. Sign up for free today. It's fun. It's cards. And it's a great way to interact with the other Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Join the league, fantasypros.com/leading-off-league. Your cards are yours forever. You create your team. You can go and manage it. It's just like Dynasty, but it's with baseball cards, and they're digital, so they take up no room in your house. Nobody's going to throw them out accidentally and make you upset. What might make me upset is if Tanner Bybee's not good today, because I got a lot of investments. In DFS today, Tanner Bybee 9.2K. Nate Eovaldi in cash. Tanner Bybee in tournaments today. That's what you do. And Framber Valdez is out today, so we're not going to be talking about him, unfortunately. The Yankees, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. I love these kind of like 6-game main slates. It's my favorite because it's limited. So you can have like tunnel vision. Just get the things right. Don't worry about being different. Just be right. Bybee and Eovaldi, Yankees, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. Gleyber Torres still 2.8. Alvarez is still 2.7. And Jeff McNeil 2.5. I'm going with Jose Ramirez for my home run call today. Welsh, who you got?
I actually really like that one. Today on the home run call, I'm going with Corbin Carroll. I was actually tempted to go Pete Alonso, but I'm going to go homegrown boy right there. Let's get the camera. Corbin Carroll. We're going to stick with Corbin Carroll today. He's going to do right. Trying to get to that 20 marker before the All-Star break. This would be number 19. Leading that team. It's crazy what he's done. So Corbin Carroll on the home runs. I need some.
I have almost 100 followers now on Threads. So that's very
you were
exciting.
over 100 when I saw. See, I'm way
I don't know.
over.
I think it's 92. Oh, no, I have 116. I just refreshed. So there I go.
Listen, do the right thing, everybody, and go and follow me on Threads. Let's make sure I'm above Joe. Joe's not here tomorrow. Joe won't be here tomorrow.
I won't be.
It's me and Wonky. So make sure by Monday that I have more, please.
I think that's great. Yes, I'm going to be watching WWE SmackDown live at Madison Square Garden. It's going to be live. It's going to be a fantastic event. Alec Manoa Day tomorrow with the Wonky Penguin. That is going to be must-see television on the YouTube channel. Make sure you
I will be up late on Thursday night. I will be up late Thursday night waiting to see if they drop the walk number, and I'm going to, like I said, responsibly bet everything I own if it's 1.5 or 2.5 over.
I will post pictures. I'll post pictures on Threads, on Twitter. New In This Ring just dropped this morning, too, for all you wrestling dorks out there like me. It's a good time. I'm excited. I could use a day off. It'd be nice to have, so I'm going to take a real legitimate day off. Welsh is going to take you through tomorrow. It's going to be good times. And then Monday we'll be back. But again, if you want home run derby stuff, you got to go watch the betting pros. We're not going to do it on Monday. No. We're going to do other fun stuff on Monday. So betting pros is where you get the home run derby information of where you want to go and what you want to place your bets on that. So that'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your Thursday.